Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Autumn Phoenix Photography YouTube channel. Tonight, we are going to be editing Berkshire Pride photos again, and I am pretty excited about this. We've been having a really good time, and just so you know, one of the benefits to watching the stream is that you get to see these photos before anybody else. So that's pretty cool. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and let's hop right in to editing photos. Now, one thing that we will be doing in the future is we will make sure that we have the ability to have like music in the background and stuff. Haven't quite gotten that figured out yet because I spent today trying to figure out how to get this GoPro to work as a webcam because my other camera was overheating and I need to get a dummy battery pack. And, well, that was just kind of a pain in the butt. So, but we got here. Thank you, HDMI cables. Thank you, Elgato. Not sponsored, but if you want, reach out for your capture cards and stuff like that. So, yeah, let's hop right into it. We're going to start with tonight. Actually, you know what? Before we do this, I want to show you guys this photo that I took. I think this is kind of cool. So I like these kind of photos, like in street photography, where people are walking by windows and they take pictures using, again, like we talked about last night, the frame in the frame technique, where we're literally using the frame of the window as a frame inside of the picture frame. So that's pretty cool. And we got this one. I really wanted to highlight this lovely person here, so I did a mask on her and brought her out. Kind of darken the background over here with, I believe it's called let me give you the exact correct term. I should know this. I use it all the time. A linear gradient. Am I going to be a winner here? It is a linear gradient. So I used a linear gradient to edit this and get it so that way this kind of section here is a little bit more dark than this lovely person is. Oh no. Oh no, we're powering off. Why are we powering off? No, don't do that. We were off to a good start. All right, give me 1 second while I try to figure out why this camera shut off. Did I unplug the battery pack? I did not. Is it on? It is. All right. So let's try one more time. That was weird. Maybe I have to record? Alright, we're going to see a weird screen here, loading up the GoPro, not sponsored, but GoPro, if you want to sponsor me, reach out. But just, don't have your camera turn off on me while I'm streaming. That's rude. Alright. Maybe... Okay, I'm going to record this. No, stop it. Ah! Alright. We're gonna just go boom. I know it says no battery. That's intentional. Okay, let's try this again. Hopefully we won't get the beep, beep, beep. And we'll get right back into editing photos. Okay, what do we got here? So now we're gonna go to this photo. Now I like this photo quite a bit. As you notice, the details are lost in this person's beard. And I want to bring those out a bit. I love their shirt. Hug your crew. Alright, let's bring up the shadows. Actually, let's use the tone curve, which I've done a little more research on and I want to start using more. So apparently I can touch this little button here and I can specifically choose right here. So now it makes a point if I do this, right? And then I can raise just specifically that shadow point. Brings the beard out just a little bit. Now, it brings out the entire shadow point of the entire photo, but yeah, you see what I'm talking about. So now we got a little bit more details on that beard. I am going to bring the blacks down in general just a little bit, just to bring it a little bit solid. We will A and B this. Yeah, I like that. Perfect. I think I'm going to even dehaze this just a little bit. Not too much. Make sure that I'm not going back to where we started. Looks good to me. Let's bring the highlights down again. I'm going to experiment with the tone curve. We'll go with the brightest of highlights. because that's our biggest offender. And we'll do that. No, too much. We'll go right about there. That looks pretty solid. Colors look good. And then as we bring the contrast. No, I don't like that. That goes too much like how we had it before. Let's take a look at this. All right, let's see what a little vignette looks like on this. Go there. And even out with the shadows. Let's go black and white. All right, he looks pretty good here. Excellent. All the details, all the shadows over here aren't the biggest of deals. A little bit of a vignette never hurt anybody. And I think we can actually raise the exposure just a little tiny bit now. Boom. And then we get this photo, guys. I'm going to bring the blacks down just a little tiny bit more to pull out some of those shadow details. Yeah, that looks like a little too much, actually. Right there. Yeah, I like that. Now, the cool part about this idea is that this allows so like on a bright day when you have those harsh shadows and stuff like that, this allows you to really just make this photo feel solid. It doesn't overexpose it, which overexposing can be a great technique. A lot of times I kind of stray away from it, but we get this photo here. All right, let's see what else we got. Gonna rank that as a 7. We did a bike one yesterday. We did a princess one yesterday, and princess is this wonderful dog right here, who is my friend Rachel's dog. You may see princess at other events near you. You can always feel free to pet princess. Everybody enjoys petting the princess. He is an awesome dog. Okay. Where are we going? Where are we going? Let's go with another just event photography style photo of somebody watching. Now we have these two here. Now this one, I feel like the face kind of gets a little bit out of range, and that's not really what I'm going for. So we're going to take this one here. We got a little bit too much of highlights occurring on the shirt. I want to bring those details out just a little tiny bit more. There we go. Too much. Right there, and then we'll bring the shadows up. Then we'll bring the exposure up. Oh no, it's powering off again. I don't know why this is happening. All right. Give me 2 minutes to figure out why this is happening. I will be right back. Alright, we're messing with this. We're back. I think I figured it out. I think it was going into power off mode, which is a pain in the butt. Always make sure to turn power off mode when you are recording. It will take you out of recording. Okay, we fixed it. We got there. Let's see what's happening here. Nothing important. Alright, back to photo editing. Oh, wait. One last change, which is I need to go over, boom. Okay, now I should stay the entire time and not lose you guys. Well, okay, you guys lost me, but I'm still technically here. I might just be a voice, but you get the point. All right, so as we were saying, we were bringing the shadows up. Let's bring the blacks down just a little bit, just to solidify the photo, just to balance it out. We'll look at it in black and white. Probably bring the highlights down even just a little bit more and the shadows up just a little bit more. I like that. We'll go there. I'm going to bring the temperature. It's a little orange. I think it's due to the reflected light off of that wall. Now this person looks a little real. And something that I've also noticed is that when you turn down the temperature or go more towards the blue temperature, you find that your picture becomes a little darker. So I don't know why that is. It might be a psychological phenomenon, but I'm going to increase the brightness just a little bit, not too much. Bring it right there. And I think that looks pretty good. I think we can bring the contrast in just a tad. I should do color first before contrast because color adds a little bit of saturation. I want to bring out all the colors in this photo, not just limited to a certain one, which is like, I feel like that just mostly happens on Pride. Oftentimes there's usually like one color or two colors that you really want to pull out, but on Pride I like to pull out all the rainbow colors as much as possible because that's one of the things that Pride is about, is our beautiful colors. And we get this photo here. Now, I think one of the extra things that I can do here is I can take my brush tool and I can go here and just kind of dampen this down a bit. I don't want this to be super bright. Like, let's go right there. I think that's pretty solid. And then let's also go down to, I just want to see what the vignette looks like on this. Yeah, it doesn't need it. I don't always use vignettes, but when I do. And that means that we got another photo done for Hampshire Pride. We're going to go there. And we're going to do that. I personally like this photo quite a bit. I think I like that one. I like how this pole is framing. I kind of want to see if I can just maybe center her a little bit more. Let's bring the frame down a little bit. We'll line it up right with her mouth. Right there. And then let's bring the sides in and make this frame a little bit more intimate, bringing more attention to our subject. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, and I'm actually going to bring up the frame just a little bit. Let's bring it up to the nose. Yeah, I like that. So we went from this kind of frame here into this, and this brings much more attention to the actual subject, where there's not as much stuff happening on the left side for everybody else. Now we're going to go to black and white and check the photo out in that regard. Not really too much adjustment we need to do here. I will bring the exposure up just a bit. I don't want to lose that shadow detail. That's really kind of adding like the mysterious kind of, maybe not mysterious, but like the watching feel from a certain place. So we'll bring that up. We'll bring the shadows back in just a little tiny bit. by dropping those. And let's see what this looks like. Perfect. All right. So though we brought those shadows back, I'm also going to mask this person. And we're going to select. And I'm going to select the entire person. And we're not going to bring them out too much, just a little bit. Just like that. And then we get a really nice, simple event photo. Maybe even bring the exposure up just a tad bit. Too much. Right there, I think, is reasonable. And then we get this photo here where it really defines that this person is watching a performance. We know that they're the subject. We have this interesting frame that kind of cuts off their shoulder, but I don't mind that because, again, we're going from the watching from a certain place feel. I don't feel this detracts my eye from the main subject. Love the rainbow color on her eyes. And let's saturate it just a bit, not too much. I might bring the oranges down just a little bit because oranges are where the skin colors are. Right about there. Perfect. I think that does it. All right. We can now mark this as a photo that is complete. So we're going to color it yellow. And we're going to mark it as a 5. All right, let's go down. Let's go to these photos. Oh, I haven't touched these yet, right? No, we'll go to this. One of the drag performers. And see what photo I really like a lot. That's kind of all right. That's kind of neat. There's like action going there. You can see the motion blur in the fingers, which is pretty cool. Oh, that's kind of cool though. I do like that. This photo looks like this person's arm is just like dislocating. Maybe we'll use that. All right. We're going to come back to this photo later. That's pretty awesome. All right, which one do I feel, to begin with, is the best for this performer? Wow, got quite a few here. Okay. I think we're going to go with that one that I found before. Oh, that's not bad. That's neat. All right, we're going to find one. One of these will probably be a photo. You know, let's start with this. Let's see what we can get here. So it was funny because this performer's track like had a kind of pause in it for a second, or it sounded like a pause because the volume dropped. And so the MC came out and was like, all right, let's hear it for the performer and everything, and was like clapping hands, and this performer was like, my performance isn't over yet, hold on. So that's how we got this. So let's bring it down to them. Let's do an interesting frame with this, right? Let's go with a little out of the ordinary. So this is like a banner kind of style frame, and I'm here for it. Okay, there we go. I think this is just a little bit too orange. I want to get the actual colors in here, so we're going to drop the temperature just a tad. We're going to go to black and white, and notice that the highlights are a little high. I'm going to use my tone curve again, I think, this time. Too much. Think right there. It's probably fine. Bring the exposure up just a little bit to even it out. We still have the details of the face. I'm okay with that. Still not completely happy with this crop. Maybe that's a little too much. We'll go a little in between. I get really precise with my crops. See, when I'm editing photos, one of the things that occurs is like I get a feeling inside where it's like, okay, that's the correct place. And when I get that feeling, that's when I'm like, this is the photo. And sometimes you hear me go boom, and then immediately after be like, I got to adjust it because like that feeling stays, and then I'm like, oh wait, I can make this feeling even better. So we got that. And now we're going to actually still drop this a little bit more into a lower temperature. I don't know what the beep is for. Don't shut off on me. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, then we got that. Then we're gonna, this photo here now, like the green is the main primary focus. So I'm gonna focus on my greens and why are you beeping at me? What do you want from me? Speak to me. Tell me what you want, GoPro camera. Alright, I'm just going to pretend like everything's normal. And we're going to bring the green, which actually might be up in the bluish range. There it is. Really bring out that makeup. Stand it out a little bit more. And then let's go down. Let's go there. That looks okay. Let's go down to our color grading. And I want to bring the green, let's do a little bit of blue. I want to get the blues in that stage out a little bit more. And then we're going to do green in the highlights. No, the midtones. That feels more accurate. So let's figure out where that green really works. Probably there. And this blue probably works there. Maybe drop that a little bit. Let's adjust the blending. We'll go about there. And we got a little bit of red here, so maybe we can get a little bit of red in the highlights. But I don't know if I want to, because that's RGB. And I kind of... Oh yeah, I guess we... That kind of brings it alive, huh? Let's go a little brighter on that. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Yeah, actually, I think that might look okay. So let's see where we started. We started here. Very warm, too warm. And now we're here. Okay, I think just bringing up the exposure just a little tiny bit is going to bring this photo to life. That's pretty cool. All the details everywhere here. The shadow gets lost, but I don't think that matters too much. This feels like a very cinematic 16:9 ratio kind of thing, but I think this works. All right. We'll go with that. Let's see where that hand is. Kind of want to drop this down just a little bit more. Nope, it was right before. All right. See that like little adjustment? I get really picky with these. Okay. Mark that as a 7, which turns it yellow, which is my way of identifying that the photo is good. And let's see. I feel like we have to do this photo too. I just love the arm. I love the, it looks like it's dislocated. It's so cool. Like, I know it's a Frankenstein thing, and so it just kind of adds to it. Alright, let's do that. Let's just bring up the general shadows. We'll balance it out by bringing the darks down just a little bit, going to black and white. Bring the highlights down just a tad. I don't think we need to go too far with those. Going to adjust the crop because I think we can get a little bit closer. Let's try putting it there. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks pretty solid. And we're going to bring this in a little bit. There we go. Now this arm kind of is like sitting on that third right here. And it's just kind of like going out, which kind of gives it a little bit of direction, in my opinion. Yeah, that looks like a pretty solid photo to me. Lighting looks good. Let's go to colors. Let's play with the color wheel, or the color tone curve rather. And I'm going to go focus on here. Oh, that is not what I wanted. I want to focus on the green. And now, so this should bring, I see, it brings all the green up. All right, so I'm not actually going to use that. I'm going to go to the greens here. I like to experiment with new ideas. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. That's one of the most important parts of art is kind of play with stuff, see where it goes. And that's where you get a lot of innovative and creative ventures. Now let's take a look. I think we can still bring the exposure up on this a bit without losing any details. That looks pretty solid. I also unintentionally did this, but I like how the head is kind of framed with this window back here too. That's always fun to do. Like nothing is cutting the person in half. You could argue this sheet is kind of, or this curtain is kind of cutting them in half, but I would argue that that's not anything that's really interfering. It's not like a tree is growing out of this person's head. All right, let's look at the crop one more time. Let's see if we can bring it down further without it. No, I think that's the photo. All right, now we're gonna still look at colors. Colors look good. Don't feel like I need to adjust anything there. I feel like a vignette might make sense here. Let's round it out a little bit more. And let's A and B it. So there's without it. So that's with it. That's without it. Without, Is that not? No, it's still a -9. Okay, so that's where it's, oh, okay, I see what I'm doing wrong. I was getting so confused. All right, there's without it. There's with it. I feel like the vignette works, but what this makes me want to do now that this brings kind of a darker element, and sometimes vignettes have the ability to make the photo kind of look darker, I want to select my subject, and I want to increase the exposure a little tiny bit, just like that, and boom. All right, give me 1 second because my phone is like blowing up over here. Okay. All right, I think we're good. All right, so now that we did that, let's full screen this. Let's see what it looks like. I still think we can bring the mask up a little bit here. Let's try that. Yeah. And then I think we will do the trick to make things have a little bit more solidness to them. Bring the blacks down just a little tiny bit. Not much, just -4 on this one. And then I think, though I know the blacks are, this kind of is counterproductive, I'm going to bring the exposure up. Yeah. That feels right. That's pretty cool. Got a nice action shot. Don't think there's anything I want to adjust here besides that. Now, here's a concept, like there's, this isn't the best example of this, where it's like super artistic, but it's still effective. Where if you have an object in your foreground, so this person's head here on the right-hand side, it shows distance between this, and the reason why I don't mind this person's head here, even though it's almost hard to distinguish it that it's a head, is that the head is curved and then the arm is kind of curved here. So it kind of just fits in nice. It gives distance because you have the background, you have the foreground, and then the midground, and the midground is where our subject is. So it just gives depth to the photo. And one of the things that I really strive for is to always have my photos have depth. One of the issues that you can have in photography, and it can be difficult to really get this to come out, is that your images can look flat. But this image just doesn't necessarily feel flat. Now, my main goal with photography too is with a lot of photos that I take, I want people to almost feel like they can reach through the screen and touch the subject. Now, I don't know if this one really gets that full effect, but it still has enough depth where it stands out for me as a decent photo. Actually, yeah, some would even say a good photo. Okay. Oh, no, don't go yet. I knew. No, come back. All right. 7. Now we can mark it as a 5. All right. Let's see what else we got. I think we said we were going to do this one because I really like this photo. Oh. We could corner crop this, bring this in, and bring it down and really frame that just a little bit better. Oh, we got the kiss kind of thing going. This might be the one. Oh! I don't like that the foot's out of frame. I like that the foot's off here. This really gets into the kind of feel that we're going for. Let's see what else we got. That's a fun photo too. We could even turn this sideways and get a little bit of motion effect. All right. Let's see. That's cool. All right. Yeah, we're going to go this one. It's this one here, right? Yeah. Let's go with this one. All right. Let's corner crop this baby. Bring it down. Bring it in. Go to the side. Go here. Okay. A little too low on the crop. I don't like this white piece. I might take that out in this photo later in Photoshop. We'll see though. Okay. This almost feels right. That feels closer. I think we need to bring this frame over just a little tiny bit. Really get this heel kind of lined up in the center, maybe. No, too much. A little less. Closer. No, too much. Right there. No, it's still too much. I wanted it to be true. Yeah, right there. That feels right. Yep. All right, now we can do the other work with it. We're going to go black and white. We're going to bring the shadows up first to bring the details in the hair. And actually, this is like a very specific black that we're looking for. So we're going to go to our gray, black, white tone curve section. We're going to take that little tool. We're going to mark the darkest point of the photo. And we're going to drag up just a little tiny bit right there. Now I think that's kind of more balanced. I'm going to also mark here and bring that up. Very nice. And then I'm going to just touch the exposure. Just a tad, just like that. Now let's see, we got a little bit more detail in the hair. I think that we can still bring this up just a little tiny bit more now that things are balanced. There we go. Now I can start to see the details in the hair coming out. And we're going to take the black and white off. And there we go. Now it's still just a little bit lost. Now that we're in color, I feel confident making... Oh. Oh no. All right. No, too much. Yeah, I think that last move was actually correct. All right, there we go. I think that's fine. Then we're going to... We got a rainbow here. So you know how I feel about rainbows. Boom. Bring the saturation in just a little bit. Never want to oversaturate it. And let's look at the photo. That's not bad. It beeped at me again. Why are you beeping at me? It's okay. Maybe it does it in time periods. It's weird. Wow, I'm on super wide angle lens. All right, I will fix that for next stream. All right. So now that we got that, I want to mask this lovely performer. And when I make my tags, I will have the performers' names on my Instagram and Facebook. So if you have an Instagram or a Facebook, go ahead and head over to Autumn Phoenix Photography on either of those, whether it's Instagram.com/Autumn Phoenix Photography or Facebook.com/Autumn Phoenix Photography. Hit that like, follow, share, subscribe, and, you know, all those kind of buttons and any new ones that they may have come with. React to my photos. Tell me what you think. Even if you think I'm garbage, let me know. Okay? Even if you think I'm like the coolest, the cool stuff. Like, I can't swear in the channel, but you get the point. All right. So we got this, and we want to take this. Create the mask. There we go. Bring it up just a little tiny bit. And then I also want to take my object mask, and I really want to get in on the fan. Boom. Stands out. That's what I'm talking about. Bring the blacks down just a little bit, maybe. We still don't lose detail on the hair, so that's good. And let's full screen this. I think we might even be able to take this an extra step. And seeing as this is a performance photo, I kind of like taking these to the next level, where let's get a little bit of reds in our shadows to bring those out just a little bit more with the color grading. And then we're going to go with green in our midtones, right? Maybe? No, I feel like that's too much. Let's try the greens in our highlights. I actually think that we might just want to leave it like that. I don't mind that. Maybe just darken this a little bit. No. Let's brighten it a little bit. All right. And then let's bring up the exposure just a little tiny bit more. What is it that I'm seeing here that I'm not liking? Maybe I need to bring... There we go. And then let's make sure we didn't cause any issues with that. Yeah, that feels better. That was weird. Kind of had a little bit of haze going on. More than I wanted. So let's dehaze. Let's take a look. Again, we darkened the photo just a little bit, getting a little bit of those details that we want. Yeah. Okay. There it is. That feels alive to me. That was weird. And it seems like we pulled out a lot more detail in the hair by taking those steps, too. Alright, so let's see where we started with this one. We started here. Then we went here. Cropped, crop, 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 crop. A lot of cropping. And then we went black and white. We adjusted our lighting. We moved on to now we had this, which we converted back to color, which kind of made it feel dark again. We brought some color into it. Then we masked it. We brought the performer out. Then we color graded it. Played around with that a little bit until we got this. And then we ended there. Kind of interesting steps, if you ask me. All right. Looks good. That's another 5 from me. So we color it. And then we're going to add the 5 there. And then we're going to continue on. All right. I'm going to edit this photo here. All right. So story time. My cousin's kid, a wonderful human being, one of the sweetest people you ever meet. I believe he is 4 now. Does this thing where when you're taking a photo of him or you hold up a camera, he just goes, cheese, and gets like this, like shows the teeth and everything. I don't know where this came from. It's the cutest thing. And this kid here did the same thing that he does. And I was like, oh my God, like I gotta do a photo of this. So before we do that, I'm actually gonna come over here and I'm gonna figure out what's happening. First thing we're gonna do, not night photo. Why are we going to photos? No. Why, SpongeBob, why? Why did this switch to photo mode? That's weird. Hold on. One of these days, like... Alright, now we're back in video. That's bizarre. Alright. Work. Alright. So now back to photo editing. So you guys got to see me from 2 angles, super wide and photo angle. So the camera's like, I'm just going to switch on you intentionally whether you like it or not. Alright, I think we can just go straight to black and white on this. I don't see anything that needs immediate details. Like, the darkness is here, but just by raising the overall general composition of this photo with exposure to begin with is going to be fine. I feel like I'm starting to lose cheek details just a little tiny bit. We'll go there. We're going to go to shadows. Bring shadows up. Does that make sense? Yeah, just a little bit. Just to separate her from the background a little bit. We can bring blacks in just a little tiny bit. I don't actually think that's necessary. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Perfect. Now we're going to bring the temperature down because this is a little bit orange. There we go. A little bit more details. Bring the exposure up just a tad bit more because in color we're not losing the cheeks. That seems like it can come up just a little tiny bit more. No, too much. Let's go to 0.40. Awesome. All right, there it is. And then we're going to saturate that a little bit. I don't feel like that to add too much detail. Now, one of the things to be careful, 2 things to be careful of with saturation if you're just using the saturation slider. One is the reds. So lips have a lot of reds in them, right? So when you do the lips, it's going to sometimes make it look like the person's wearing lipstick. We don't want that effect. We want them to look like they still have their natural lip color. And then the other thing that can happen is taking the oranges up and down. Now, I will show you exactly what I mean by this. We'll just start with the red. Let's go back here. We'll start with the red. And notice how, like, I can make it look like this kid has the darkest, like, red lipstick on. Or I can completely devoid their lips of color and turn them completely gray. So lips, when you're doing color grading, you have to realize that red is really found there. Be careful with your reds. Now, the other one to be careful of, and I've mentioned this before a few times, is orange. By increasing the orange, I can turn this person into, like, essentially an Oompa Loompa. If you're familiar with or Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, or Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, or I can just completely devoid them of color, where they kind of look like Martians. Now, these are the extremes. You just want to be aware of these when you're editing a photo. I think that we have enough color here. We might even be able to bring the orange up just a little bit to bring a little more color into the face, so it's not so washed out. And then let's take a look. That looks pretty solid. Let's look at our crop. I'm happy with the crop. Maybe we'll even bring it in just a tad. Let's see what this looks like. No. Perfect. Actually, what happens if we bring it in a little bit this way? Nope. That's it. That's the photo right there. So we'll finalize it, look at it full screen. I'm pretty content with that. There's nothing that is over glaring. I don't see the whites being too white. I don't see the blacks being too black. Details are all there. Composition looks solid. I believe this is another photo that is done. Alright, so we're going to 7 mark that. And then we're going to 5-star that. Alright, let's keep going. This one's way far down that got marked yellow. I really jumped around yesterday. Alright, we're going to edit. I don't think I've edited these. Let's see, we're on 462. Let me make sure I haven't done any of these particular ones of Jeff yet. Looks good. Alright, we're going to talk about my boy Jeff. Come back, Jeff. This is Jeff Rivkin, a wonderful human being who I had the pleasure of meeting at Berkshire Pride, who is an excellent photographer on top of that. And so I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to shout out Jeff's channel. Definitely, or not channel, but his Instagram. Head over to that Instagram, give it a like. Jeff is kicking butt at his social media, by the way. So Jeff, if you're watching this, like, I need to step up my game and make my social media as good as yours. So let's head over to the Instagrams. We'll close my emails. We're going to close the YouTubes. And we're going to talk about Jeff. Where are you, Jeff? There's the search function. Jeffrey Rivkin Photography, right here. So that is JEFFREY_RIVKIN_photography, PHOTOGRAPHY. He has all these photos. He already has a lot of his Pride photos up. He's just incredibly on top of his game, an impressive and incredible human being. Look at these cool videos he does, like, freaking cool. And then he's got some beautiful photos of weddings. This is one of my personal favorites. I talked about this one yesterday on stream. Super chill dude. So make sure to give him a follow. He got a few photos of me that on a future stream I will show, because I need to go through the photos that he sent me. I want to take my sweet time and learn from how he does his photography, because it's very important to study your fellow photographers. All right, let's get back to editing. And again, thank you, Jeff, for being an amazing human being. I can't wait to work with you again. All right, so we got Jeff here. And I closed Google Chrome. Good, so we don't get the issue where I had yesterday. Now we can go with this one, but I almost like this one. Okay, One of the issues with this one, and we might be able to work this out. No, he's sharp there. Aha. I know where I'm going with this. I'm going to develop it. We're going to pull out our crop tool first. We don't need that much of a frame. We want this to be intimate, just like he is with his camera. He is currently looking at his subject. He is planning his next shot. And we're going to go there. And I'm even going to go as far as to bring this frame in more. Too much. We're going to bring it back more. This still does feel soft to me, but it's not soft. Maybe I'm just looking at it weird. Let's full screen it. Okay, it's just me. All right. So this one, we are going to turn it into black and white. And this could even be a black and white photo. I have to think about this. Let's balance it. I'm going to take that. We're going to click on here. Bring up those tones a little bit to pop him out. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's tone curves, am I right? That's solid. I actually think this might be a black and white photo. Should I bring some texture up on him? We could get like all those beard details out. So that's a kick ass. Ooh, I can't say that. Kick butt beard. Demonetized, even though I'm not monetized yet. Yeah. That's cool. I do want to bring down the highlights on his arm just a little bit more. But maybe I don't. Yeah, just a little bit. After A and Bing, that looks good. And then this person here is just not helping the photo in the way that I would want a foreground to be. So we're going to kind of darken them and bring that attention to Jeff just a little bit more by doing that. And then I'm also going to mask Jeff and bring him up just a tad, just to stand out a little tiny bit more. So we're going to create that mask. We're going to have to erase some of that mask because not everything there. Boom. Perfect. And then take the brush. Take this out. I might even actually do another mask here where I'm going to darken this even more. Yeah. Now we're focusing in on Jeff. Let's actually see what that vignette looks like not there. Let's round it out just a little bit more. That's good. And then I'm gonna darken this person just a tad bit more even. Perfect. And then we're gonna add their face in to that darken, which actually might be too much. So let's do a separate mask here because I don't like how that balanced out. Yeah. There's Jeff. That's not bad. Photographer at work is what I would title this piece. All right, we got that one done. We're going to mark this as a 7. I like having some black and white photos in my mix of event photography. I feel like that makes it more interesting. Let's move on to, let's find a photo through here. Ooh, let's do another photographer photo. This is another Hampshire Pride worker. I am terribly sorry that I don't remember their name. But they were super kind and wonderful, and I am terrible at names. And I think I even said, like, I'll remember your name, and then I didn't. But someday I will figure out how to remember names better. So we're going to go here. Let's go right there, right on the tip of the lens, right under their eye. Kind of creates this like flip-flop, kind of like a sine wave kind of feel. And then let's bring the frame in a little bit. I don't like that too much. Maybe a little less. Right there feels right to me. Almost wish that I framed them more to the right, so that way it kind of showed where this was going. There was more space between the camera and the border. We're going to increase our color just a little bit. We're going to increase the shadows a little bit. Going to drop the blacks just a tad to get that nice solid feel. Exposure can come up a little bit more. Turn it black and white. That feels okay. This white is now glaring at me. We're going to take a mask. And we're going to darken the shirt. Whoosh. Whoosh. And we're going to darken that out a little bit. Perfect. Now more attention is being drawn to our subject. And I think we can even bring the exposure up a little bit. So it's another kind of effect that I've noticed, if you have white in your background, it can make your image appear brighter when it's not. So the white is brighter, but the rest of the image isn't. But to my eye, it kind of seems like it does that, where it makes the whole image brighter. And so I'm going to bring that up a little bit more. That looks good. Let's take the black and white off. Let's bring the temperature down because that's still just a little bit too warm, which is going to bring the exposure up as a result. Too much. Drop the blacks down just a little bit more. Good. Saturate it. I'm going to do all colors because those tattoos are freaking awesome. Drop the oranges because I don't really want that skin color to be too orange. And then I might actually bring the reds up carefully, making sure that it doesn't do too much because those glasses are freaking cool. All right. So now we have this photo here. Let's look at our crop a little bit more. Can I do this? You know what I actually think happened is bringing the red up. Yeah, that's what it was. So I'm going to bring the red up back to 14. And the shirt on the left is also red. Now, I'm going to select the shirt here. I'm going to go into my saturation tool. And I'm going to just take the color out of it just a little bit to bring the focus back how it was before. Because I want those glasses to stand out, but I don't necessarily want that red on the shirt to stand out as much. Full screen it. We can bring up the exposure just a little bit more. Let's actually bring it up on, let's mask them. Select. Create the mask. And then we're going to, boom. Then drop the blacks just a little bit more again to give a little bit of shading, because shading creates depth. And we're going to look at it. Boom. That ain't bad. Let's take the contrast. Yeah, I think that looks good. All right, so there's that photo. So we did that. And I think for the night, I am going to end that here because I want to kind of keep things at an hour long to begin with. So thank you guys so much for coming and joining with me, watching me struggle with the Oh no. Okay. Watching me struggle with the GoPro camera as it switched to photo mode. I don't know why that happened. I'll figure it out. But the beeps are entertaining. So thank you for joining. Make sure to like, follow, share, subscribe on the YouTube, on the Instagram. Maybe I'll even start a TikTok. Maybe it's time I start doing reels and videos like that to keep you guys up to date on what's going on. I will be continuing to edit Pride photos. Watch for them on those social media platforms. And besides for that, have a wonderful night, and I will see you on the other